In today's video, we're going to be having a conversation about 5 missed Pokemon opportunities and some that could be coming up relatively soon in the future and why you don't want to miss out. But before we jump into it, as always, we do weekly giveaways. All you have to do to enter is leave a like, comment down below, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. We post pre-recorded content each and every week. And lastly, if you want to be a part of the community anyway, links are all down in the description below. One is for our Patreon wholesale group. We might have a couple slots available, but I think we're sold out. But I would highly recommend you check from time to time if you are interested in joining to get access to wholesale prices on all card products. And then lastly, with that, Discord link is also down in the description below. I highly recommend you join if you want to stay up to date on all things PokemartUSA and be a part of an awesome community of like-minded individuals. But jumping into it today. So this is going to be a fun one. So there's been a lot of opportunities I feel like people really miss out on. And don't get me wrong, there's a lot of scarcity when it comes to current product right now. And that's obviously going to play into a lot of things. But at the end of the day, the people that survive in this market or in this hobby that make this a full-time gig are the ones that don't just sit idly by and say, I'm only going to invest or I'm only going to buy sealed product to flip. That is elite trainer boxes, booster boxes, right? It's the people that find opportunities from whether it be alternative sealed product, whether it be from just literally free real estate that happens from time to time, and you just take advantage of that. And so today we're going to be breaking down 5 missed opportunities. I'm going to show you 5 potentially opportunities or potential opportunities that you could take advantage of. But we're just going to kind of go through it a little bit today. So starting off is going to be Trainer Toolkits 2023. So talking about missed opportunity, Trainer Toolkits 2021. So for the longest time, Trainer Toolkit 2021s we're sitting at roughly around $18, $17 a piece, which is basically wholesale. MSRP is obviously $30, but good luck ever finding a trainer toolkit at that price, right? Now, obviously, with prices increasing, you're seeing it go from the price point of $30 now to $35 when this item officially does come out. So, but this is just, typical. But one thing that is nice to know about this one is that it's actually going to include an Arceus V-Star, not just a standard V card. So that's actually going to be really good, in my personal opinion, for the general value. Why this is important. Trainer Toolkits 2021 in specific, before the prices ended up crashing because there was just a large resupply and the market has drastically changed as a lot of these cards are going out of rotation. It had a couple specific cards inside of it that were worth a ton of money. 2 in particular, it had capture energies and it also had scoop up nets. So for those of you guys that don't know, scoop up nets were a part of, or still technically a part of, the competitive format. They're going to go out of rotation relatively soon, and they were worth upwards of $5 to $6 a piece. So they were extremely expensive. You got 2 per trainer toolkit, and then with capture energies, I think at one point they were selling for $2 to $3. So right there, you just say to yourself, okay, I'm paying 17, 18 bucks. I'm getting 4 cards that are gonna make my money back. Then on top of that, you've got trainer toolkits that also include 4 packs. Usually this was a mix between Darkness Ablaze, Sword and Shield base, or a couple other packs I can't think of. I think Chilling Rain was another one, depends upon the print that you got. But basically at that point you're saying, all right, well, I'm getting additional packs. These are gonna add another $3 to $4 of value per pack. And then there's the Crobat V promos, which were each worth roughly about $1 or $2 at their high point. And then the remaining bulk that ranged anywhere between, 10 to, 30, 40 cents a piece. Like some of the cards back in the day, Air Balloon was worth quite a bit of money. You had Evolution Incense, which was quite a bit of money. Obviously, battle decks were things that kind of dropped the price of that because the battle decks just included them. And so a lot of the promos went down. And then when they made the Trainer Toolkit 2022, these were also included. So prices started to drop. But, end of the day, point that I'm making with this is that when the Trainer Toolkit 2021 came out, this was at the start of the new era of Sword and Shield. And because of that, it was the first to come with a lot of what was presumably going to be the competitive cards in the format. So the scarcity of these trainer cards was extremely low. And so the prices for a lot of these cards were extremely high. I'm talking about a breakdown value of at its peak around $50 to $55 if you sold everything off, obviously not including shipping and fees, but just pure raw value because of all the promos and everything that came inside of it. So insane value, especially if you're saying, okay, I'm picking this up for, 17, 18 bucks, what you were able to pick it up on TCG Player for. So absolutely crazy value. And a lot of people messed up and they slept on it because people thought trainer toolkits, who cares about trainer toolkits, right? Well, I was crazy on trainer toolkits for that exact reason. I mean, some of my distributors were literally giving them away because no one was taking the time to just literally break it down. And sure, you can say to yourself, Eli, I don't want to spend the time, making a TCG Player account. All I really care about is just making quick cash flipping. Well, that's fine. You only needed to sell 4 cards, or maybe even 6 if you're going to sell the Crobats, just the Capture Energies, the Scoop Up Nets, and the Crobats, and then bada boom, bada bing, you made your money back, and you basically got the other 4 packs for free with Sword and Shield Base and Chilling Reign or Darkness, depending upon the print. So it wouldn't have taken that much effort. You don't have to go through and sell every individual card on a TCG Player account. You just have to put in a little bit of effort. But, I digress with that. That's not something people are going to do, obviously. Moving up next, Trainer Toolkit 2023 coming out. Guess what? It's a new era. Obviously, we know that it's going to have Arceus V-Star as the main, so that does give into some speculation having to do with the fact that, okay, Arceus V-Star, it's going to be in the new meta format. Does that mean we're also going to be getting a mix of Sword and Shield era packs for this Trainer Toolkit? Is it going to be all part of the new Scarlet and Violet for the pack selection? Who knows, obviously. And who knows what that's going to also mean for the trainers that are going to be included. But more than likely, a lot of these trainers are going to be included as a part of Scarlet and Violet. And with Scarlet and Violet, there's going to be a new meta of cards that are probably going to be extremely expensive out the gate when the meta is just starting to shake up. Not to mention, too, obviously, as we see an increase in MSRP, what is going to help offset that is going to be the increase in value of the Arceus V promo. The Arceus V-Star right now at its cheapest is selling for around $7-8 on TCG Player. That right there just makes up for the MSRP increase that we're going to be seeing. So the value is there for this specific item. So I highly recommend that you at least, be on the lookout for this. You don't have to go balls deep like I am. If I'm being honest, I'm buying a lot of trainer toolkits with the expectation that they're going to yield as much value since we're going into a new meta with TCG for Scarlet and Violet. So I'm kind of taking that risk there. But at the end of the day, it's not financial advice and I'm not a financial advisor. So moving on to the next missed opportunity and what you could see in the future. So it is the Illustrator contest. So for those of you guys that don't know, we obviously saw a ton of opportunity when it came to rinse repeat code cards for the Charizard special delivery card. And so if you don't know this Pokemon Center website, you could put in a special delivery Charizard code. All you had to do is spend $25 at checkout or $20 at checkout to get free ship. Once you did that, you had your Charizard sent to you, and it was worth around $40 to $45 at the low point. I think the high point was worth on average $70-80 a piece, right? You, I think at one point were able to go and get the codes for the Charizard at around anywhere between, $3, $4, $5 to as high as I think $10 a code. And the thing about this is you were only able to use one per address, but that refreshed at the end of the week. So guess what you would do? You'd go to you go to Pokemon Center website, spend $20 to get free shipping, you put in the code, you get a Charizard that you got for free initially, and then you basically get anywhere between $40 to $80 of value. You go to eBay, you buy another code for $5 to $10, you wait a week, you put in the code again, $20 at checkout, rinse and repeat, and you're making anywhere between a free $30 to $60 each and every week, just purely free real estate. A lot of people missed out on this opportunity. I obviously mentioned it many times before. A lot of people took advantage of this opportunity. And so I think that there's going to be, not to the same extent, because obviously we're not getting a special delivery Charizard, but still, Illustrator contest promos. TCG Player, it shows that most of these are averaging at this point $20. We're still waiting to see what the market's going to shake out, if that's going to be an up or down, but if you're saying that you can go in and you can buy them for 99 cents online for the codes, and you can get them for $20 a piece, once again, it's free $20 each and every week. So opportunities are going to continue to present themselves over time. You just want to make sure that you're not going to miss out on them. Next up, we have the Charizard Ultra Premium Collection. This one's a little bit of an interesting opportunity. So when the market first crashed for this item, obviously we saw the price go down to as low as $75-80 per CUPC. With that, the value to break this down was insane. you could sell off the playmat, you could sell off the promo cards, you could sell off the sleeves, the dice, the everything. If you went and sold it, whether it be on TCG Player or on Amazon, and you really broke down and got your values worth, it would pay for itself, not including the packs. So in other words, you literally had people I know of that were in the program, one guy in particular actually, who bought 40 CUPCs, and I think the most he bought at overall, I think he bought like 80 in total, but he bought 40 basically each month. And what he told me he did was he literally just broke down the CUPCs and he just sold the contents and basically got the packs for free, because the value at the time for the promos, which was around 10 to 12 bucks a piece. The playmat, he said he could get typically anywhere between 10 to 15 depending upon the site. He was also going to get value from the sleeves for the Charizard. I mean, the value, he said, was insane. And he was like, hey man, I get a bunch of, I get 16 packs for free basically, and I can either open them knowing that, hey, I get these free packs to open for fun, or I can resell them and I know they're going to be pure profit. So this is another opportunity I feel like a lot of people slept on. Obviously, the value is just not there anymore. The CUPC market value is sitting at roughly around $105, $110. The promos themselves are no longer in that $12 to $15 price range. They're now sitting at around $6 to $7 a piece. And so it's just not there anymore. However, we know that ultra premium collections are going to be presumably a new norm. We just got a Celebration one, we just got our Charizard one, and there's been leaks, I think they're probably not true, they're not confirmed, of Mew Ultra Premium Collection that's going to come out. I highly doubt it. It's all speculative, but I still believe that we're going to see Ultra Premium Collection opportunities in the future for high demand items that you're going to want to be able to take advantage of in breaking down and trying to make sure that when that time comes and you do see that a set like this or an item like this gets printed into the round, doesn't matter if it's specifically a UPC or not, but high demand items that do get overprinted, there's still value to be found in them when breaking them down. And sometimes you're going to make more money than if you're going to try and resell it, especially considering the price to ship a complete CUPC in the big clunky box than it is for you to break it down and break everything and sell it off individually. Next up, it is going to be build and battles. So build and battles are one of the most slept on things. Obviously, it depends upon which one we're talking about because each one is going to have more value. But specifically, the one we're going to be having a conversation about is Silver Tempest build and battles. So they're insane. The value that these have had for the longest time have been absolutely crazy. Now, prices on these have once again gone up. But when you first came out, you were able to, relatively speaking, get these for almost wholesale or slightly above wholesale. And the value has just done nothing but go up. For those of you that can still access this at wholesale, if you're an LGS or you're part of the program or whoever, there's so much opportunity in these still that you don't want to really miss out on. And it comes from the promos. That's where it all comes from once again. So obviously with the price right now going up when it comes to pack values, obviously this becomes more lucrative even before, because if you're talking about just from a wholesale perspective, the wholesale price that you are going to be paying for this is $120, right? And $120, you're going to get 40 packs in total. You can see it's $3 a pack is basically what you're paying. Pretty expensive considering booster boxes you're usually paying like $2.30, $2.40 a pack. So you're paying quite heavily, right? However, there are promos that are going to make up for that because you're getting a bunch of bulk. And one of those promos, well, there's multiple in particular, but one is worth upwards of $5.45 is the current market price for a Kirlia promo from Silver Tempest if you happen to pull it. Obviously, there's 4 promos in total, and so it's, you're still playing Russian roulette at that point. But regardless, you've got another promo, which is an Archeops promo, which is worth about $3. I think at a tie it was like $4. And then you've got 2 other promos that are going to yield you about 50 cents to $1, depending upon which one you pull. So even if you say to yourself, you average a Kirlia 1 in every 4, you're still going to get, because there's 10 that comes in a full display, you're going to more than likely, statistically, at least get 2 or 3 of these, which is going to drastically bring down your overall average, right? So if we say to ourselves, okay, we're doing 120, and let's say for the sake of it, we pull 3 of the Kirlias, and they're each selling for $5.50. Let's just say we take away what that usually would cost us, $16.50 worth of value. We now divide that by 40 because that's the amount of packs we get. Our now pack average is $2.58 purely just based off the promos of the Kirlias, which is absolutely crazy. Then you say, all right, well then let's add the Archeopses into that. We're going to say they're worth another $3 a piece. Take another $6 off of that. You're now saying, okay, cool. I'm basically paying for 40 packs $2.42. Okay, wow, that's insane. Let's take another swing at it and add the remaining amount of promos. So 5, we'll say these 5 are going to be valued at 0.75 per times 5. That's going to put us at $3.75. So we say $97 minus 3.75. That's going to put us at $93.25. And what do you know? Our price per pack average is down to $2.33. And that's just based statistically off of the promos. That's not including any of the energies that come with it. That's not including any of the additional trainers or bulk. There are actual non-holo Archeops cards that are also going to be included that are upwards for the non-holo version of $1, and you get multiple copies. So I'm not even including, you really, realistically, if you sell everything off, are basically paying $1 to $1.50 when you talk about how much money you're paying per pack, because of the additional value that comes with the bulk of trainer toolkits specifically for Silver Tempest. So the value is absolutely insane, right? It is absolutely crazy if you're able to still get it at a decent price. Obviously, if you're getting it for $125, $130, $140, then obviously the numbers go down quite a bit. But for the longest time, this item was, once again, sitting at that $120 price point. I mean, heck, man, it was actually sitting on some distribution sites for $105, $110, so even cheaper. The value was even greater. And so, once again, going forward with this, we want to make sure there's going to be more build and battle kits in the future. We're going to want to pay attention to those promos and say, hey, we see that the price for these build and battles are extremely cheap, but the promos are extremely expensive. I'm going to take advantage of that and try and see if I can acquire more value off of that, because that's where a lot of profitability is going to be made. Now, lastly, breaking it down for another item I think that you're going to want to take advantage of in the future if there does so happen to be another opportunity. Surprisingly, League Battle Decks. Now, I know this is always going to be case by case because, League Battle Decks are depending upon what the meta is going on with, but League Battle Decks for the Mew, it's absolutely crazy the value that you're seeing with this specific item. It is selling for $30 to $39, and obviously, although it's represented here as being as cheap as $22 at its overall low point, shortly after the release, but as you can see right now, it's starting to reclimb up in value as the majority of these, main promos are going to stay in the standard rotational format once Scarlet and Violet officially gets released. And so the value has started to rebound. League Battle Decks, typically, you're going to find them on eBay and a lot of other sites or some local card stores for roughly around wholesale to slightly more. A lot of the times, I know local card shops. So if you guys are wanting to understand how distribution works, in order for you to get allocated certain product, obviously it's based on your spend, but then more based around the product you buy. If you buy certain items that are very low demand and distribution usually sits on it for quite a bit, the more of the crappy product you buy, the more you're going to get allocated. So there's an incentive for a lot of stores to basically just pick it up and just churn it as much as they can, as cheap as they can, just so that they can get rid of it, so that in the future, when it comes down to allocations, they see, hey, LGS, you guys picked up 100 League Battle Decks or 100 cases of League Battle Decks. Good job. It's absolute crap product, and you guys were able to move it. They were able to move it because they were selling it at either a loss, they were selling it at wholesale, or only slightly above. So there's tons of opportunities depending upon where you're going to search. Like I said before, eBay, Mercari, local game stores, where you're going to be able to find these for dirt cheap. There's actually a deal that one of my distributors for the longest time was doing where the usual wholesale for this item is $18. They were selling it for $9. Insane. Why were they selling it for $9? Because the same system that distro has with LGSs, which is you buy the crap product, you get the good stuff, the distributors are playing the exact same game with the Pokemon company. So they know, hey man, if I can just flip these league battle decks and then I can slightly incrementally raise prices on other product, then it's going to offset the loss that I'm going to get for these league battle decks, and I'm going to be able to churn them like crazy, right? And so that's kind of what you see a lot of times, and the value, once again, of these items has started to go back up again. Obviously, you're saying to yourself, all right, well, if you're paying 18 bucks, 19 bucks a pop, that's not really that lucrative when it's selling for 22 bucks. And it hasn't seen its high point since its official release as an overall deck. But now that it's becoming prominent again, and it's gone up about 30 to 40% in the past couple of months, now you have to start noticing and taking awareness of this when it comes to those who are paying attention to the competitive game and the competitive market, because there's profit to be made in this. I know some people are going to probably like this one the least out of the 5, but once again, man, if you were able to pick this up, even if you were saying you bought it on TCG Player for 22 bucks, not you went to a local game store, not that you went to eBay, but like you picked it up for $22.69 and you just resold it, you would have still walked away with profit. So the opportunity is there for certain products. You just always got to be aware in the future. You're going to see more league battle decks that are going to be prominent, that are going to shake up the market. And with Scarlet and Violet just right around the corner, I thought it was more important than ever to have a conversation about this video, because a lot of what I'm telling you is all prevalent to what is going to be the future of Scarlet and Violet and the past of Sword and Shield. We saw all these opportunities in Sword and Shield. They're going to repeat themselves because history repeats themselves. And with a new rotation, these opportunities are coming and you need to be aware of them. As far as it goes, though, ladies and gentlemen, hopefully you guys found some value out of this video. Obviously, if you want to enter into our weekly giveaways, all you have to do is leave a like, comment down below, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. And lastly, if you want to be a part of the community in any other way, highly recommend you check out our Patreon if we do have spots available. I would always check in just to kind of see whenever a spot opens up, as there is a ton of opportunity to get access to product at wholesale. But outside of that, if you want to be a part of the community, highly recommend you join our Discord, as we have a lot of like-minded individuals, and that is usually where I give the most up-to-date information on everything going on with PokemartUSA. But that is all for today's video. Thank you guys all so much for watching. Until then, I will see you guys next Monday. Peace.